See what I got right here? This is $50,000, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand. When you graduate college, this is what a starting salary looks like. You know what this also is? The amount of money that I made on my very first real estate deal. You know how weird it is to make $50,000 on a deal that takes a handful of hours when some people are working 40, 50, 60 hours every week, 50 weeks a year for the same amount of money? That's kind of crazy. If you learn the game of wholesaling real estate, you can learn how to make $50,000 in a single transaction, and you could do it under 30 days. You want to learn how to do that? Buckle up, let's go. One shot, now the future is yours, go! What's up, guys? Today we're talking about the basics of wholesaling real estate, and here's why. On a single deal, instead of just making 20 grand or 50 grand, what if you could make $400,000? I got news for you. These deals exist too. The important thing is that today's about valuing your time differently, because societally, we've all been ingrained with this idea that my time is worth $20 an hour, $50 an hour. Maybe your time is worth $150 an hour. Most people don't know how to make their time worth $50,000 an hour, $500,000 an hour, but I do. I've transacted over $2 billion of real estate. I literally just sold a portfolio of homes last week, and I was wired $311,000 for less than 1 hour of work. Show me the money! Show me the money! So in that hour, my time was worth over $300,000. Today's training is the closest that I can get to showing you from A to Z how to make your time worth a whole lot more, so you can get your time back and have the cash. Okay, Krohn, this sounds great, but what the heck is wholesaling? Check it out. It's a process in which a wholesaler gets a killer deal under contract, and then they sell the contract to an investor for at least $20,000 or more, depending on how good the deal is. Now, the goal of the wholesaler is not to sell the property, but to sell the contract of the property. I found this house. It's worth $300,000. But the person's willing to sell it to me for $200,000. Why on earth would someone be willing to sell their house for $100,000 less than it's worth? It's simple. House has problems. It hasn't been repaired or fixed up in a long time, and the person who owns it is gonna come up with 20 or 30 grand to get it fixed, and there's only one problem. They don't have 20 or 30 grand. So they can't list the house, they can't sell it. They're like, suck, I got a house and I'm stuck with it because it's in bad condition. I don't got the money to fix it up. I don't want to fix it up. I have no motivation to fix it up. I don't even want the bloody thing. Let me get the house for $200,000. I'll take the repairs, take care of everything. In 30 days, I'll have it literally sold cash. Someone else will fix it. And you know what they say? Can we shake on that right now? Now you got this house for $200,000, but fixed up is worth $300,000. And here's what I do. Yo, all my investor buddies out there, any of you want a really good deal on a house that needs some fix up and repair? And thousands of them come running, and you say, cool, I'm gonna give you this house for 220 grand. And someone says, sold. That person puts the 30 grand in. By the time they're done selling the house, they've made 20 or 30,000. But remember, you got it for 200 grand and you gave it to them for 220. So a week later, when they bought it for cash, you got cashed out $20,000 cash. That, my friend, is the game of wholesaling. I don't need money, I don't need credit, and I don't need a license. You just need the training I'm about to give you right now. Check it out. There are 4 steps to make this thing go down. Number 1, you gotta find a deal. This sounds hard, but once I train you on how to do it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's it? It's not that hard. Step 2, you use some really simple paperwork and say, sign this and I'll take care of your problem, make it all go away. That's called the contract. Then you gotta say, hello, where are all my investors out there that got the cash to actually do the deal and just give me a little finder's fee? And I'm gonna show you how to do that. And then finally you're like, I got the contract, let me just sign it over to you. Now it's your contract. You go and buy it, and I'll be the middleman. And I'm just gonna take my not so greedy $70,000 and everybody wins. Ta-da! Magic trick solved. Now, I assure you these deals are very, very, very real. I have flipped a couple thousand deals on my own, and I've also partnered up with Carlos Reyes. You may have heard of him. Carlos has also done thousands of these kind of deals, and these are some of his very, very real checks in the game of wholesaling. Now, by the way, while I've seen many deals ranging from making $10,000 to $80,000, many of these were done in just a few days, and most of them in less than a month. The biggest deal I've ever seen, $650,000 in under 60 days. So here's a check blocked out to a gentleman by the name of Brett. He got paid $25,500 on this small deal. And this one went to this individual. It was for $29,492. So the reality is this stuff, my friend, it's real and people everywhere are doing it. But if you don't know how to do it, you're the one missing out. Check it out, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna go through the example of the 4 steps. We're gonna do a sample house so you can see exactly how it works. Let's run through those numbers. The very first step is called finding the deal. Now, to find a deal for wholesaling real estate, you start by identifying undervalued properties through sources like foreclosure lists, local auctions, direct outreach to motivated sellers. Wholesalers are able to negotiate lower prices because they're working with sellers that are under financial distress. The house is in bad shape and the people don't know how to bring it to market. They don't know how to fix it up. And they're so flustered that they just want to walk away from it. They're just trying to get some of their equity out, and they'll give you a chunk of equity if you'll solve the rest of the problem. You come up with the cash, you get it sold, you take it off their hands, you get it fixed up. They're gonna cut you in where of course you can make $20,000 or $50,000 or $100,000. Check it out, here's the second step. We're gonna get a deal under contract with a motivated seller. That motivated seller owns this house. It has lots of equity and cash in it, but the house isn't fixed up and they basically wanna walk from the problem. The house fixed up is worth $270,000, but because of the problems that it has, you're able to negotiate it for $180,000 for the seller to just walk away. You let them know, in 30 days, I'll have this thing closed cash, but here's my out clause. It's subject to my financial partner's approval. Do you know who the financial partner is? It's the investor we haven't identified yet that's gonna bring cash to the table. And this basically means, hey, I haven't put up any money, but I'm not taking any risk by doing this. The third step here, it's finding the investor. And I'm promising you that if you have a house fixed up worth $160,000 and you got it under contract for $180,000, trust me, investors are going to run to the table saying, we've been looking for a deal just like this. Now listen, you could network with local real estate investors, or you could attend industry events like RIAs, Real Estate Investment Associations. You could utilize online platforms and forums focused on real estate investment to showcase your wholesale deals. And you can present detailed information about the property, its potential, and the benefits of the deal to attract interested buyers looking for investment opportunities. You could just do a shout out on social media and potentially find an investor. If you found a good deal, the investors always come through because they're like sharks with blood in the water. They smell it, and when they smell that money, they come running.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
The fourth step is to assign the contract. That means I found my investor. I'm basically gonna sign over the contract to them. But remember, I got this for $180,000 and I'm gonna assign it to them in this simple example for $200,000. I'm only giving them 7 to 10 days to close cash. And they have to bring that money to the table, and when it's sold, guess what's left over? Remember, fixed up, it's worth $260,000. The investor is buying it for $200,000. You got it under contract for $180,000. So when they go to buy it cash, there's an extra $20,000 that the title company gives you because you basically got paid as a deal finder. You found a really good deal. You got someone else to participate in the deal. And if you're hearing this for the first time, it can sound a little intimidating, like, Kris, is it really that easy? But really, if you decide to spend a little bit of time with me and take a basic training course with me, I'm gonna show you everything, all the sites I go to, exactly how I do it, and you're gonna find out that actually it is that easy. Check it out, you know this guy. You may not know Carlos Reyes, but the reason why we've teamed up is because collectively we've done thousands of these deals in wholesaling, flipping, buy and holds. And I'm just telling you right now, anyone that gets the training can do this. I got together with him because we created a simple training program that if you follow it, your journey to wholesaling It starts now, and it's literally just in a link below. Go ahead and click that. I'm gonna teach you everything that you need to so that you can get started on your very first deal. Literally 30 days from now, you could have gone through the training, identified a great deal, and if it hasn't closed yet, you might be within inches of the finish line. It's getting paid your first $20,000, or my students that just did this last time, they made $80,000 on their very first deal. Click the link below. There's nothing else you can do in the game of real estate that doesn't take money, doesn't take credit, takes very little time, and guess what? It can reward you so handsomely, you no longer need a job, you have total flexibility, and yes, this is that real. Financial freedom, it's not a game, it's not a joke, it's something real, it's tangible, it's something you can have. Click the link below, start your journey. Okay, Kris, this was really good information, but I really just wanna know how to find a really good deal. If you just can't help yourself and you want to know my top 5 strategies of where I go to find really good deals, click right here and I'm going to show you my top 5 strategies right now.